Hi everyone, how's everyone's Memorial Day going? I'm just waiting for some to hop on. If no one does, that's okay. I understand today is a holiday, so we are celebrating our fallen in the United States. So we'll just wait a few seconds and see. If not, you can catch me on the replay. Just comment hashtag replay if you will. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, or you can ask them now. That's fine. But I'm just going to introduce myself now and let's get started. My name is Peggy Scandurro. I live in Southeast Louisiana, right outside of the New Orleans area. I'm 67 years old, so this is totally new to me. Social media, social selling, all of this is brand new. I am a mature woman. I do have mature skin. I have chosen to age gracefully, therefore no surgeries or enhancements or anything like that. So I definitely am going for the natural aging woman. Hi, Pam. Hi, Rochelle. Mary Rose, hi, thank you so much. My Saint Sisters, I don't know what I would do without you being here with me to cheer me on. I'm a nervous wreck. Public speaking is not one of my strong points, but I'm just going to tell you my story. Okay, as I said, I am 67 years old. I'm a mom of two. I have a son and a daughter who have blessed me with 6 beautiful grandchildren. They range in ages from 10 to 22. The great-grandmother, which is like, wow, I never thought I would put that in front of my name, but I am actually looking forward to that. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for being here with me. That's my background. I did marry my high school sweetheart, my prom date, and this year we will celebrate in November 49 years of marriage. We've actually known each other over 50 years. So, yeah, we kind of beat the odds because we did marry young. So that's my background story personally. Hi, Cindy. Thank y'all so much. I was a nervous wreck, but to see all these familiar faces, I so appreciate you. The other thing is my saint journey. It started back in Louisiana, and again with COVID, I think it depended upon what state you lived in, what the rules and the parameters were. In Louisiana, they were pretty tight. So we went into lockdown like the rest of the country in, I think it was March of 2020, and things did not let up until I guess it was like December of 2021. You still had to mask. You still were limited to where you were going. You could go. The hospitals and all still, my husband was hospitalized with COVID in November of 2020 through December. And I was the only one that could go in, and it was limited time, and it was just one of those things. So bearing that in mind, I started sewing masks in I guess it was April. Okay, I'm not a seamstress, but I can sew a little bit. So I went through all of my old fabric and I started making the cloth mask because, again, you know, the N95s they were trying to keep for the healthcare industry. So what I did is I donated, I guess, the first 1,200 that I made. I found out where there was a need, whether it was a nursing home, whether it was a hospital, whatever it was, that was a need that I saw that I could fill and that I could help. So I stayed inside for like 3-4 months sewing. Like most things that you do a lot of and constantly, I burned out. So I went outside. Well, at that point, I was gardening. I was no makeup, just gardening all the time. What happened at that point is I started listening to these videos on Facebook. I found out that if you get into the video section, it will play video after video after video. Well, there was this certain artist named Marcy Dixon that kept coming up into my video. I hadn't seen her picture, but or what she looked like, but her voice, I could relate to her because she talked about things that I talk about. It was like she was talking about my life to a certain extent. So one day I took a break from gardening because, again, right outside of New Orleans, it was in the middle of the summer in 2021, and it was hot. It was humid. It was horrible. So during one of my breaks, I happened to see a video or a live that she was doing, and I saw her and I could see myself. She was a mature-skinned lady. She looks like me. We're your average woman without makeup. But after she put Saint on, it was like a total game changer. So I started following her and watching and watching. Long story short, she color matched me. I bought, and then in December of 2021, I signed. What happened in 22 was not a lot. I struggled like most of the young artists do, or any artist, young as an artist, not young in age. So I struggled trying to find my fit, my audience. I did lives. I posted. I was consistent. I did everything that the other artists were doing, but really couldn't gain any traction. My page was hacked. I totally lost the business page, started over in in June of 2022. I started from scratch again. All I had was the few customers that had purchased from me that I had their email addresses. All of my followers were gone. There weren't many, but all of my followers were gone. But then I learned this thing of, okay, reels are where it's at. So I made an attempt to make a reel. They were terrible, but it is what it is. Still an artist too, a year later. And then I paid for coaching. It wasn't a lot. It was $100, and it was for 2 days, about an hour and a half each day. But the knowledge that I got, and again, that was from a Saint artist, and there was 25 of us, but only like 3 of us were Saint artists. So this coaching was more of how to make a reel, how to work social media, what works, what doesn't. And this wonderful artist's name was Jackie Richards. I learned so much from her that actually how to make a reel, how to work Instagram, that sort of thing. And then I decided to, in January of this year, start a team. That's when I met 3 fabulous ladies who are on my team, and because of them and their hard work, they bumped me to an artist 3. At that point, once I started the team, I knew I had to up my game because it was nowhere near what I needed it to be, and it wasn't what they needed it to be. When you become an artist 3, you have started a team, and that becomes, you become the mom of the group. And again, doesn't matter what age you are or what age they are, you are the mom, which means you need to nurture, you need to teach, you need to mentor, and you need to love. Regardless of whether they ever produce anything, these are the things that you owe to these team members who have decided to follow you. Now, do you continue doing this? Yes. You love them, you teach them, and you learn together, because I have learned more from my team than I've ever taught them, to be honest. And again, these are just fabulous ladies. All of my Saint sisters are fabulous, but I'm especially close with the ones that are on my team. Now, what is something you should do as an artist 3? First thing to me is get organized. And you need to start with, why are you doing this in the first place? You need to know what your why is. And you need to visit that why pretty frequently. I know I go back to it when I get frustrated, or when the algorithm's not treating me as kindly as it should, or not treating my artist and me the way that I feel it should be. And again, who controls this algorithm? I have no idea. But you need to visit, why am I doing this? Am I doing this to share the beauty of Saint with as many women as I can? Maybe. Am I doing this to mentor? Maybe. Am I doing this to build a team, to build a business, to build something that is stable because it fulfills a need that I have? Maybe. What is your why? Think about that. The other thing is, you need to decide early on, what is your business going to be like? Is it going to be a hobby, or is it going to be a business? Both are totally okay. Both can succeed, without a doubt. Both can be really, really fulfilling. But you need a business plan on how you're going to run your business. The other thing is to set goals. I am a goal setter. When I started growing, my growth really started in January. And at that point, it was like, okay, I need to set some goals here. I need to set short-term ones, medium-term ones, and then long-term. Long-term ones to be ones that maybe I can't totally see right now, but that's what I'm going to set them anyway. The medium-term ones are ones that I know I can reach, but I'm really going to have to work for it. And I'm going to share my short-term goal with you, and that one was in February. February 1st, or in January, but starting February 1st, I wanted to sell something every day in February. That was my short-term goal. It didn't matter if it was a brush. It didn't matter if it was a $16 tin of something. I wanted to make one sale at least per day. And that actually lasted for 45 days. So that was exciting. I celebrated every day. I mean, it was like I would text my husband, I got my sale for the day. How much is it? I don't know. I don't care. It's there. Saint just let me know someone placed an order. And that was my goal for that day. It was fun. It was something to look forward to. And it was always something that I knew I wouldn't beat myself up if I didn't reach it. But I did, so I celebrated. What did I do? I went and bought a new dress. What else are you going to do? And that's the other thing. Celebrate each and every goal that you achieve. Now, if I had not gone those 28 days, again, I picked the short month to have this goal. Had I not reached that goal, would I have beat myself up? No. I would have looked back and just seen a little bit about what I could have done differently, and I would have gone forward. That's the other thing. Approach this with caring and with love. Love yourself. Never beat yourself up, because next month is a new month. Each month I look at now, which I didn't last year, but each month now I sit down and it's like, what can I give to my team that will help them succeed? Help them in any way that they may need help with, or even help them where I don't even know there's a need. I look at each month. We have a new one coming up on Thursday, June 1st. So how can I, as their leader, be better for them? How can I, Peggy, be a better leader for these three beautiful ladies? It's something that really makes you reflect on yourself, and it also makes you better, because you're constantly looking for ways to help, to be better, And I may not have the answer today, but I'll have it tomorrow. Give me just a little bit of time and I'll have it tomorrow. The other thing is choose a platform. This is what I would say for you to teach your team. Choose a platform that you're going to focus in on, whether that be social media, whether it be parties. Some ladies have had tremendous success just giving parties or doing parties. My friends, we're partied out at our age. We have done home interiors. We have done Pampered Chef. We have done Tupperware. Believe it or not, yes, I hosted many a Tupperware party. We have done the different parties, home interiors. We have done all of that. So we're kind of partied out. Now, the beauty of parties is you can do them in person, which are fun. Or you can do them online, which I have found is really the simple way to do it. Strictly up to you. And again, as an artist 3, see what your team wants to do. What do they want to learn? Is there something out there that they want to learn? Find out what that is. If they want to do social selling strictly on social media, do they want to do Facebook? Do they want to do Instagram? Do they want to do them all? If you want to do them all, key in just on one. The one that you're the most comfortable with, the one that you know the platform the most. And I think that will be the easiest way to start. The other thing is, depending upon that platform, what should you use? Instagram is Reels. I have a good size following on Instagram and on Facebook. And this is the part that I have found for my audience. That's the other thing, depends on your audience. My audience on Instagram is not interested in a live. They're just not. They want a caption, something to, in other words, with a live, there's none of the frills. It's not closed captioned. It's not, there's not a hook at the top. There's no explanation. You're just sitting there. They're going to flip through that. They're not going to watch. That's on Instagram. Facebook is a different story. Facebook likes to interact. Most audiences do anyway. And Facebook is, they like Reels, but they like the personal stuff to get to know you. They really like to interact with you. So it just depends on which media you want to go with. Pinterest is a wonderful outlet because it's always there, it's always opened, and the content is forever. It's always in the same place. Are they going to show it? Once they start following you, anything you post is going to hit their feed several times. And it's timeless. It's not like it's going to get buried. I had my first color match last week from YouTube. And I put all of my content on YouTube just so it would have a place in case you're hacked again or whatever. You're not starting from scratch. Your content is still out there. When the lady, I looked at my color match form and how did you hear of me? And it said YouTube. I was ecstatic. So again, there's so many outlets and so many things that you, as the team leader, as an artist 3 or above, need to learn so that you can pass those tips down to your team. The better leader you are, the better that you'll be able to serve and to help your team members. The other thing is to, once you get things going, rinse and repeat, so to speak. Always check in with, as an artist 3, again, you have at least a team of 2. Check in with these ladies. Make sure they're okay. See if they need anything. If you learn anything new, the first people you should want to share it with is your team. Again, you're the head of the team, and for them to grow, you have to help, or you need to help. Let's put it that way. I feel like that is your job description, is to help, to mentor, to love, and to share with them. The other thing is Decide when you are going to work. That's the other thing. Don't let this social selling can consume you if you let it. And you don't want that to happen. It leads to burnout. It leads to unhappy families. It leads to losing who you are. So you don't want to do that. You want to delegate your time. You want to schedule your time. For me, I work at least 2.5 hours to 3 hours Monday through Friday on my business. I may go live on the weekend, but normally I try to set the times that I'm going to do this so it doesn't interfere with me being a wife, a mother, and a grandmother, because those are the things that are very important to me. That I be good at and be available not only for my team but for my family. And you're going to find that your team will probably become your family as well. The other thing is, how do you grow your team? Well, sharing. How can you grow if you don't share? There's a beautiful opportunity with Saint to grow. There really is. And the limits are strictly the ones you place on yourself. If you don't share the opportunity, though, how will anyone know what this is? I, for one, do not share the opportunity as much as I should. But again, I am still at the part to where my growth is starting to get to where I know I can handle it. Let's put it that way. My growth is where I can handle it. And my team, it's like now it's just sort of a check-in, a chat, things like that, to see if they need anything. Because these ladies are honestly on their own now, and they're doing fabulous with it. They're consistent, and that is something that is so important, is that they get to a consistency. Because once you get consistent, then the growth is going to come. That's just how it is. That it's that way in just about anything you do. Once you get consistent and people start noticing, and they're only going to notice if you are consistent. You can't make one reel and put it out there and say, okay, I'm going to make one reel a week. You can do that. But unless you are consistent in whatever your plan is, then the growth is not going to come as quickly as you would like it to. Several of the women that are on my team, not my team, but the same team as I am on, that we signed under, they are noticing growth. And the growth is because I've seen these ladies day in and day out, every day, doing the same thing. They're showing up, they're doing the work, and finally, like I say, it took me a year. Took a full year of consistency, of continuing to swing, learning new things, trying new things, seeing what would work. But I was there. I showed up. And that is how you can build a team, you build an audience, you build. That's the whole thing. You just build. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else on this list that I can tell you about being a young artist 3. Basically, enjoy the ride. That's the other thing. If you aren't enjoying what you're doing, then you really need to revisit your why, because that is one of the most important things. Why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself out there? There are the naysayers, there are the Karens, or whatever you want to call them. They're out there and they're going to find you, unfortunately. None of us are immune. And they're going to say unkind things, and they're going to. So why are you putting yourself out there? Why are you doing this? You really need a strong why on some days. So revisit it and revisit it often. But again, consistency is the key to any type of success, is just keep doing what you're doing and keep doing it and keep doing it, because you will reap the rewards. They will come. Will you be rich and famous? I don't know. I'm not. So I can't tell you that. But I will say that being consistent in anything you do is the way that you're going to grow. And with growth comes opportunities. And again, if you have the opportunity to build a team, then you need to be there for them. You need to be the teacher, and you need to take them by the hand. And mainly, and more importantly, you just need to love them. You really do. Now, what happens when basically you've done all these things and they're not doing their part? That's not on you. That's not on you. If you have a team member that maybe hasn't taken the tools that you've given them to and run with them, well then, again, that's not on you. You did the best you could. And that's with anything. Anything in life that's worth doing is worth doing wholeheartedly and with a giving heart. That's the other thing. You are serving. You are serving ladies out there that this makeup is fabulous. This makeup is a game changer. I think back to before all of the wrinkles and the crepe skin and the all of the things that I have going on, issues of just having mature skin. What would it have been like had I learned of Saint in my 30s? Oh my goodness, my 40s, my 50s. I'm just excited that I did learn about it in my 60s, because it's never too late. I have customers that are in their 80s, and these ladies love Saint. They love putting makeup on again. Now, some of them don't do the contour. It's like they just couldn't get the concept, and that's okay. That's a whole nother issue. But that is, are there any questions? Any questions at all? Because again, my journey is young. It is, it's new, but I'm loving every second of it. I really and truly am. How do you start a team? You share. And if you're an artist 3, you've already done that. You have at least two members on your team, because that's how you promote from a 2 to a 3. What is the difference in a 2 and a 3? You have at least 2 team members. That's about it. And you constantly are learning. You're learning. I don't see any questions, so I appreciate you guys being with me. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Have a great Memorial Day, and I'll see you guys later. Take care. Thank you all for watching.